Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Saturday and it is time for an unusual kind of video because I'm going to combine a whole bunch of different things. And before I get started, the minute I turned on the camera, the dogs outside in the yards that our houses, the backs face each other, immediately started barking, and they're having like a barking war. So one of them will bark, the other one will bark back, and it's just going to continue on. Hopefully they'll be ready for a nap soon and we won't have to listen to them. Anyway, a few days back I was watching a video on Emily Noel 83's channel, and she brought out something that just absolutely sparked this bout of nostalgia with me. And what she had was an old school caboodle, okay? This brings back so many memories for me because this was kind of like my first makeup case, my first makeup bag per se. But anyway, it brought back so many memories. I had a ginormous one. Like, this is small in comparison to the one that I had, so I was kind of excessive about makeup right from the beginning. But anyways, as soon as she showed that, nostalgia struck. And so she was talking about using the caboodle, and I really, of course, I ordered the pink one. And how cute is the little thing that has the lips on it? But anyway, she was talking about using her caboodle to shop her stash, and that was where she would keep the items that she had chosen to work back into her rotation for that month. And I thought, what a good idea, because just kind of tossing it in your everyday drawer doesn't actually do much other than for things to get buried. And so I'm like, next month I'm going to do that. I did a shop my stash everyday drawer video already, but I think from month to month I will put it in the caboodle, do a video on it, and just keep this nearby and pull things from it to use in my rotation during that month. I think that's an awesome idea. Not my idea, Emily's idea, but I jumped on it and I immediately ordered the caboodle. And I ordered this during the time that I had the 20% off coupon from Ulta. So, what's buying a caboodle if I don't buy anything to put in it, right? So when I said this was going to be an unusual video, what I meant was I wanted to tell you about the caboodle, tell you about what I was going to do with it, but I also want to do a mini haul. And there is something in here that I'll tell you about that I'm going to use and review and demo during this video. And this is also going to be just a chit chat, get ready with me, catch up with me, update kind of video. So it's like 15 things all rolled into one. Why not kill 15 birds with one stone, right? So if you'd like to see all my craziness and all my randomness all tucked into a nice little video, then please keep watching. So to get things started, I'm going to start off by telling you what's inside the caboodle. This is going to be kind of a mini haul, and I actually have never done a haul, I don't think, on my channel before, so this is new for me. But I'm going to get in here and show you the things that I bought with my 20% off coupon. I didn't go crazy. I was pretty tame this time, mostly because I knew the 20% off coupon for Sephora was coming up, and also because I'm trying to save money and points for whenever all the Christmas stuff happens. I'm utilizing my funds in a particular way, spreading them out. But anyways, her caboodle was like mint green and pink and purple, and so there's another version of this, and I think it was like just under $20. I don't remember how much they were when they first came out, but this was just under $20, and I was like, even if the shop my stash thing phases out or whatever, this is an excellent thing to use whenever you're going like on a weekend trip or out of town for the day or something like that. So I'm going to show you what I bought. First of all, I bought a backup of my Tarte CC color corrector. I use this under my eyes, under my concealer. It's one of my layering process. It's the beginning of my layering process, and this is a backup because I'm about to run out of the other. I generally do use my 20% off coupons to buy backups when I'm about to be out of something. Why pay full price for it when you don't have to? This was a little bit of a splurge just because I love Eyelure lashes. I love Vegas nail lashes, and this had 3 pairs for 15 bucks. The ones in the middle I'm so drawn to. I don't know exactly how those would look on me, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using those today just because they're so piecey and wispy, and I don't know. I just think they're really cool looking, and so I'm anxious to try those. And I love these multi-sets or these try it sets because then you can try something, and if you like it, you can buy more, but you don't end up wasting a bunch of money on something that you end up hating. You get 3, and I'm sure out of the 3, I can find one that I like, if not all. I keep feeling like I have a hair on my forehead. You know, hairspray, lotion, all that stuff, because I'm already washed and moisturized. And it's relentless. So that was one of the things I bought. The next thing is something that I buy every year as of 2 years ago. And that is the seasonal limited edition Tarte eyelash curler. And I mean, this has like a fuchsia or pink under plastic, and then it's got little rose gold jewels all over it. I am all about it. I'm all about the bling bling. So, you guys, I'm sure, I know in my videos, you've seen me use this one all the time with the pearls, and I love that too. But I have one, the one from last year, in my backup drawer, and I need to get it out because that's what I'm going to use this year. I'm just kind of like being a year ahead of myself, but I order these early because they sell out. So if you have any interest in this, go ahead and order it because they do sell out and they don't bring any back. So that was the other thing. Now this was, I guess, the most pricey item that I got, but it's a combination of things. And I'll tell you a little bit of a backstory on it and why I did it, why I bought it. You guys know that I'm kind of obsessed with the Soap and Glory Righteous Butter, the body lotion. And I talked about it extensively in one of my videos, and I said I wouldn't do that again, so I'm not going to do it now. But if you haven't tried it, get it because it smells delicious. But whenever I went to purchase some for my mom for a birthday gift, I saw at Walgreens, I saw this giant display of Soap and Glory items. I had no idea that they had makeup. I knew they had the Mother Pucker lip gloss, the plumping lip gloss, and I knew about face products, body products, but I didn't know they had makeup. And when I looked at the display, there were so many products that if I wanted to try some, I didn't even know where to start. Like, I just kind of stared at it for a while, and I'm like, man, there's so many, I don't even know what to choose to even begin with. So whenever I saw this, I thought, there's the answer to my dilemma, my Soap and Glory dilemma. And that is, it is called a flatter box. And gosh, I'm drawing a blank on how much it was. I think $29.99. I think 30 bucks. And I would say that the Soap and Glory products are more expensive than drugstore, even though they're available in the drugstore, but not as expensive as even the least expensive high-end. But definitely, you know, priced enough that you don't just buy it on a whim. But anyways, inside it has a little bit of everything, and that's what I was intrigued by because I thought, wow, well, this will give me the opportunity to try a bunch of different products. And this glare is going to probably be problematic, and I will see if I can take the plastic cover off without it taking 2 hours. In fact, I'm just going to pause and do it off camera. All right, so that took like 30 minutes, but I was going to read to you from the back. Before I open it up, I'm going to tell you what it has, or maybe I can do both. Maybe I can open it and show you and read at the same time. I'm just afraid that now that the plastic's off, that I don't want the products to come flying out. So let's see if I can do this. It says it has a thick and fast, there went the brush, thick and fast, high definition, collagen coat mascara, and also no glasses, so just bear with me. Next, there's a Super Coat Liquid Black Eyeliner Pen. And next, it's so small I don't think I can read it. Oh, there it is. Glam All Out Luminizing Face Powder. 3 lid stuff eyeshadow pans. Sexy Mother Pucker Lip Gloss in Plums Up. And eyeshadow and Half Moon blusher brush. I sound like my second graders when they're reading. So, mascara, eyeliner, a luminizing face powder to me looks like a highlighter, 3 lid shades, a lip gloss, and a little eyeshadow brush that's now on my floor. So, and this brush too. But anyway, so my idea was, why don't I just do a look using all these things and see what I think about it? Kind of do a first impression demo review kind of thing of just kind of an overview of the Soap and Glory makeup, because maybe some of you are curious about their cosmetics like I was, and this will be a good way to try some of their more well-known products, or at least the ones that they thought were good enough to put inside of a collective box. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use whatever I ordinarily use that's not part of what's included in this, and I will work in other things as needed, but I'm going to try to use all the products in this box, flatter box. So let's get into it. All right, so I am going to do a chit chat type thing, and I'll show you the products, but I'm probably not going to elaborate much on them. There's not many that I don't use regularly, but I'll give a little bit of a shout out to the ones that are new to me or ones that I've just recently started using. I also, which you will see before this video, did a everyday drawer kind of video that kind of shows you what I was trying to move back into my collection to decide if I needed to discard it because it was outdated and expired, or dried out or whatever, give away to my friends or my nieces or anybody that has a chance to look through it, or do I love it and I need to continue to keep it in my rotation, and if I'm almost out, do I need to repurchase it, those sort of things. And so I think on a monthly basis to do a rotation like that, it will, number one, get me to use products that I haven't used in a long time, rediscover past loves, get rid of things that are just taking up space. You know, it's all very efficient in theory. We'll see how it works out. But to begin, I'm going to go back to an old school Smashbox foundation primer. I have tons of these, like literally 3 or 4 of these, and one of them is like a super size one, and so I need to use them. And I do enjoy a silicone based primer whenever my skin is in pretty decent condition and I don't need a lot of pore filling, even though this does a little bit. But I love the slip that this gives, and it does prolong the life of the foundation. So the barking match continues. I remember the very first time I used this, I thought it made my face feel like silk. And now that I use like Professional and like Dr. Brandt's Pores No More and those kind of foundation primers that literally blur your face out and make it feel literally like silk, this still does feel really nice, but I do prefer those just for the sake of the pore refinement and all that. And I really do just concentrate on the center of my face with this. So guys, what's been going on in your life? Do you have anything exciting or fun or newsworthy to tell me? I'm going to try really hard for this not to be a major downer kind of video, but I've been really going through a pretty tough time recently. I had a fall break, Smashbox primer water. I had a fall break from school, which was a Wednesday through Sunday, so I had 5 days off, and I always try to do a lot during those times, filming, cleaning my house, seeing my family. And one day I decided to go to a bouncy house into the park with my grandbabies, and my granddaughter Kylie was in one of those baby swings that has the rubber seat that their legs go down into, and she got stuck in it. So that's the beginning. Hang on. Well, not necessarily stuck. She couldn't get out by herself, and her mom was having a conversation with somebody else, and so I'm like, I'll get her. And I went over and I pushed her for a little while, and then I was trying to pull her out, and I was kind of jiggling back and forth because she was stuck, and I was jostling with her, and she's 3 and she's heavy. And I didn't even think that I was hurt or anything like that. But what inevitably happened was, and you guys, anybody who's watched me for a long time, you guys know that I have fibromyalgia, and so I deal with a bit of pain on a daily basis no matter what, ranging in intensity from I can ignore it to really bad. And whenever I'm not doing very well, I don't do things like lift babies out of swings, because if you push it when you're already kind of flaring, it can get real bad real fast. But I wasn't. I was feeling pretty good and I felt strong, and it didn't seem like it was a risk to do that. In Oklahoma, our weather, when it changes from fall into winter, the temperature dramatically goes up and down. Like it'll be 50 one day, 80 the next, 42 one day, 92 the next. It goes back and forth, and that really wreaks havoc on my body. My body is very sensitive to dramatic weather changes, particularly temperature drops and moisture, precipitation, any kind of precipitation. So that whole break was kind of going up and down through that. And I just thought I was in a flare. And the unfortunate part about fibromyalgia is that sometimes you get so good at ignoring pain that you can have injured yourself and not even know it because you're used to various parts of your body hurting. I also kind of thought that maybe I had a crick. And I don't know if there's a technical term for that, but like a crick in your neck or a kink in your neck or a pinched nerve or whatever. Anyways, I was having pain under my shoulder blade. And pretty intense. I thought, gosh, I've slept wrong. It's going to take a few days to work itself out. Other parts of my body were hurting, so maybe I'm flaring a little bit. And it just went on from there. Well, the pain under my shoulder blade got very, very painful. It felt like if you've ever had an exposed nerve in your mouth or a really bad toothache, it felt like that in about the area of my fist, like about that big of an area. And I have these lidocaine pain patches that my friend Becky was putting on my shoulder. And as she was pushing it down, she's like, Sherri, you've got a really big knot right here. And it wasn't until that moment that I thought, okay, maybe I injured myself. And it didn't even occur to me when that happened. Let me put my foundation on while I'm yapping. Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. You guys know I've been on the search for a perfect for my skin foundation, and I've tried hundreds, literally. And I saw many reviews on this from people of all different ages and skin tones, but particularly mature skinned ladies were loving this. And I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. And I absolutely love it. The color's perfect. The finish is perfect. I almost feel like it is giving my skin some nourishment, which I don't know if that's exactly what it's for, but good stuff. And the shade I'm in is Natural Beige. And I put it on with my Beauty Blender. Most of my paddle brushes are dirty or drying, and so I'm not going to use them today. I'm just going to put it on with my Beauty Blender. I just put it on the back of my hand and then just kind of put it around a little bit and then bounce it out with my Beauty Blender. But anyway, so I finally decided that I had injured myself, but hadn't really figured out when and how. And I ended up, after a 5-day break, I ended up missing 3 days of work because of this. It was so intense. I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't lift anything with my arm. It was just so painful. And for someone who deals with pain every day, for me to say something is very extraordinarily painful, hair. It's really bad. And so I just, did what I normally do whenever I have a problem. And that is I use a rotation of ice and heat. I use the lidocaine patches. I make sure that I kind of up on the anti-inflammatory medication. But in this process, it got so bad that I started taking actual pain pills, half of them at a time, because I'm very sensitive to pain medication. And to be honest, I absolutely hate pain medication. I guess my talking and my Beauty Blender is a little dry, so I just sprayed a little bit of that primer water on it. But anyway, I was so tempted on 2 or 3 occasions to go to the emergency room. I have to think I'm dying before I go to the hospital or the emergency room. I've had so many health issues that, although I appreciate what they do for me, I hate doctors, I hate hospitals, I don't ever want to go back to one unless I'm going there to see a baby being born, something like that. I have to feel like I'm dying, so I felt like I was dying. And I finally called my parents because I didn't even trust my arm to be able to drive. And this was like on a Tuesday night. And my dad said, if it continues to, do this, if it continues to be bad, I'll come get you and take you to ER. And I made it through the night, but the next morning it was so bad that I was like, I can't, I have to go and get it checked out. And so I ended up going to urgent care just for the sake of not having to sit in an emergency room for 3 hours. And in essence, they told me, and she literally said to me, nothing we can do, suck it up, Buttercup. It's one of those moments. She showed me some stretches and whatever. She was trying to help, but whatever. I put another pump here. That's what I do, is I put it all over and then I go back in and up the coverage on the areas that all right, found that guy. So I just, did what I had to do. Did a lot of, went to work, and when I come home, I would take half of a pain pill, lay down for several hours, do the ice and the heat and all that. And I was just like, I'm just going to have to make it through until it gets better. Well, when it came to Wednesday at work, I was just having a particularly difficult day, and it was just very painful, and I couldn't deal with it, and I hadn't had much sleep because the pain was keeping me awake even through what pain medicine normally knocks me completely out. I was still not sleeping because the pain was intense and I couldn't get comfortable, etc. And so Tuesday at school, I had, a feeling like I need to leave work and go to urgent care. But we had an assembly that afternoon. There were a lot of people gone, and, coverage was sparse, and I didn't want to cause an issue. And I'm like, okay, I can be tough and get through this. I'm going to set my concealer with Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder with my little blender, my Real Techniques. So I made it through, same thing. Wednesday, same thing happened. It was bad before I could even, I wasn't even an hour through my morning, and I was just miserable. I was like, I have to go get this checked. I can't deal with it. And again, for me to intentionally and willingly go to a doctor, I feel like I'm going to die. And so for it to be that painful, even through pain medicine, muscle relaxers, and all those things, I can't even imagine what kind of havoc was going on under my shoulder blade. But I go to the clinic that I ordinarily go to, which is a Native American clinic, and they work me in. They take an x-ray of the area. Not sure why, maybe to appease me, because I said, you got to do something for me. And then I waited to see a doctor, and it was a doctor that I hadn't seen there before. And he was an older gentleman, and he had quite an accent, and I was having a very difficult time even understanding what he was saying. But he came in, he gave me about 30 seconds to give him my spiel about what had happened, and he didn't even come in and sit down. He was standing in the doorway as he was doing this. I'm using the Peach Perfect powder from Too Faced that goes along with the foundation. This is lovely. I really, really like it. I think I like it as much as I like the Laura Mercier, which it's difficult to beat Laura Mercier with me because that is beautiful powder. But this one has a little bit of a pink tone to it, and I love that. So I put it around the inner part of my face with my damp beauty blender, and then I go in with the big fluffy just to make sure it's all smooth and set. But anyway, I keep forgetting I'm not doing a tutorial. I have plenty of those. So he basically said to me, if it was still bad in 3 months, he could refer me for physical therapy. And at this, guys, I'm not a cranky person. Even when I'm not feeling good, I'm respectful. But at that point, I was just like, are you kidding me? And I was nice, but I said, you know what? That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to figure out what I can do after I've suffered for 3 months. I'm here, and I left work because I have enough pain that I need something to help it. He starts talking about something, meloxicam, pan, something, have I ever taken that, and topical gel, and this and that and the other. And I'm just like, is there a steroid injection, an anti-inflammatory injection? Is there something you can put near the site to reduce the swelling so that I can have some relief? And I explained, I can tolerate a lot of pain. If this is this bad, I need something to relieve the pain. Is there something? And I think he was in the room, not in the room, like halfway in the door and halfway out, for maybe a total of 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And all he wanted to do was get me out of there. He was not going to give a remedy, period. So he's like, okay, I'll give you this meloxicam or whatever this is. It's an anti-inflammatory and a muscle relaxer. Don't take the other ones, and I'm giving you a topical gel. If 3 months go by and you're still having pain, come back and I will refer you for physical therapy. And it took everything in me not to just go, you know, that look like, excuse, seriously, dude? So I was mad. I felt like I took a half a day off of work for no reason. I felt like I didn't have any hope for what was going on with me. I was frustrated and upset. And so I just went home, took half of a pain pill, went to bed for several hours, and got up. At that point, craziness going on, hurting, making me crazy, feeling like I'm gonna die. And I got the jelly stuff to see if it would, you know what. At this point, I was desperate, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I just need some help. And so I had Patrick rub that into all the areas that were hurting. And it did for about an hour. It gave me some relief. I also took one of the meloxicam. I don't even know what it's called. I'm going to use my mini blender with my Painterly paint pot to prime my eyes. I like to do this before I even start my eyebrows and all the other stuff. So it gave me a little bit of relief and enough for I could sleep through the night. And I was thankful for that, because I was just, any improvement I was going to be happy for. And after that, the next day when I got up, I put it on myself as far as I could reach down with my other hand. And I had an almost, you know, tolerable day at work. And I'm like, oh, praise God, this is getting better. I'm going to be able to survive this. You know, I'm not going to miss any more work. I'm going to be able to survive this. And that sounds so dramatic, but it really was that bad. So from there, the next day, which was yesterday, we had a 35-degree temperature drop, along with drizzle, misty rain all day long. And here I am in like a flare state from head to toe. And that was intense again, no matter what I took. And I'm just like yesterday, I was talking to my mom, and I was about to cry. I was just like, you know, I've had several months here of pain every day. Like I'm getting worn out. I need a few good days, please. I just need a break from this. And I'm like, I just hope I'll wake up tomorrow and feel so much better, and I'll be able to do what I need to do. And when I opened my eyes this morning, my eyes opened, and I just took a deep breath, and I was like, it was the first time in like 2 weeks that I could take a deep breath without feeling like there was a knife stabbing underneath my shoulder blade. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. And I'm like, and I still feel that way. I'm so thankful. I still took my regular medicine, put the gel on, all that, but I'm doing good. I can lift my arm. I can use it. I don't have to lean on something to use my hand. So I'm praying that we're moving on to better days, and that this will be a thing of the past. I'm going to be careful with it. But I guess all that to say that when you have fibromyalgia, you can't just do anything. Even if you think it's not going to harm you or hurt you, everything is so fragile, and it's like, bam, you can make one decision that's going to affect you for months with pain, and that's frustrating. But I hope I'm on the upward trend of getting better and all that. I'm going to go ahead and use my Wet n Wild Creme Brulee just to set my concealer. So that's what my life has been like. It's been kind of like a blur of pain medication, just, you know, doing what I have to do to survive the last few days. And that was frustrating because there's so much that I want to do. I was so thankful that I had basically filmed an entire week's worth of videos the weekend before whenever I had my break, that I didn't have to try to, you know, put up something. And like I said at the beginning of all this, if there's a time I'm not well and I can't put up a video, I just won't. But if I'm able, I really want to be consistent with 2 to 3 times a week, and that's what I've done. So that makes me happy. At this point, it's going to be time for eyebrows, and hopefully on to happier, brighter topics. Okay, so I've added some products in for brows that I haven't used much, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll turn out well. But recently, every time my best friend Becky has seen me, she said, "Sherri, your eyebrows look so good." And ordinarily I use the Micro Brow by NYX Chocolate, and it's a lot more auburn, and I use it because my hair is so red right now. But I also have an Anastasia Beverly Hills Chocolate, and it's a little bit more brown, a little darker. And for winter looks and darker colors for fall, it just looks better. And so that's what I've been using. But anyways, I'm excited about the weekend because I feel better today, so thank goodness. I have all kinds of videos that I'm going to film today and tomorrow. I have my Morphe Me, I have my October favorites. I finally am prepared for my perfume collection or my fragrance collection video. All kinds of things. The giveaway was awesome. I was so excited that every one of my winners got their first choice. So that was awesome. It just panned out that way, which was really cool. Unfortunately, some people, I guess, just subscribe to be part of the giveaway and then they leave afterwards, because I had kind of a drop in subscribers after that. But that's okay. The ones that matter stay. And I really feel like the people that won are very much a support to me and weren't just there for the giveaway, which that makes me happy too. I use this random name picker thing, and whenever I saw Matthew pop up, I was excited because he's a friend of mine and he has a daughter that he wants this for her birthday, so that made me feel happy. Sabrina won, Sabrina the Makeup Bomb, and she has an awesome channel. I'll link that below. She does awesome reviews and really beautiful makeup, so go check her out. And then Raylina Through the Haze, I hope I'm saying that right, or at least it's close. Very sweet, and I was very happy that somebody that I didn't know per se, you know, someone that was new to my channel won part of it too. And so it just makes me happy to give away things to the people that support me. So thank you again, everybody, and I'm excited. I'm already collecting things for my 500 subscriber or my 10,000 view giveaway, whichever happens first. I'm excited about that. But I don't even know how I got onto that. Oh, all these videos that I'm going to make today, I hope. And so I hope that I will stay well where I can continue to do things about a week in advance and always have some things in my back pocket for the times that I don't feel well. So today in Oklahoma is what we call Bedlam Weekend. And Bedlam is the weekend where Oklahoma State University and Oklahoma University play each other. And it's a rivalry. And so everybody makes a big to-do, big weekend. People even get into fights over this. I don't. At school, people wear red or orange or whatever. And so I'm going to do all this stuff that I'm doing now before 4 o'clock when that game comes on, because I'm excited to watch it. I think we have a good chance. Like, even if you lose every game in the entire season, you got to beat OU if you're a Cowboy. So that's what we're going to do later on today. Do some cooking. I'm doing real good with the changes in my diet. I think that is helping me to recover quickly. Not so quickly, recover quicker than I would have in the past, and energy and the way I feel aside from that hiccup in my health, I've been doing really well and really happy with the results. So I'm trucking on that. I've actually created a second channel for it. It's really personal and probably something that only if you have a weight problem would be something you'd be interested in. It's just kind of personal updates from me, kind of documenting my journey. So it's called Hope on Hiatus is the channel, and I'll link it down below if you're interested. It'll be a very select few that would be interested in something like that, but if you kind of want to follow the journey that I'm taking on making positive changes in my diet, as not even necessarily for weight loss, but for health and to feel better and to keep my disease at bay and correct things that I have control over so that I will feel better. I'll link that so you can check it out if you want to. It's myself and my friend Becky are kind of doing this stuff together, and so it's kind of personal updates on a weekly basis, weight, updates on weight and all those kind of things. So I'll share that with you if you're interested. Those kind of things are a little personal and kind of hard to share as far as, letting people know how much you weigh and sharing struggles that you're going through. But I figure if it helps somebody, then I'm willing to put myself out there like that. But we're coming up on Thanksgiving. I can't believe how much time has gone by, how quickly the school year progresses forward. It seems like we just started and we're already practically through the second quarter. The first semester is almost done. My eyebrow is probably going to look all kinds of crazy because I still have to be real careful. Like I have my elbow on my vanity right now because I can't hold it up for a long time. And it doesn't feel very steady. It feels kind of shaky. So we may have I might unintentionally make one of those wavy eyebrows that I don't understand why they were trending. But yeah, anyway, I might be on trend for the first time in my life, and it wouldn't even be on purpose. But I'm excited because Thanksgiving's coming up. I love this time of year because it's about the only time, either Christmas or Thanksgiving is the only time that both my brothers and mom and dad and myself and Patrick and just friends and family get together, that we're all able to be together. I have twin nieces, Jory and Malia, who are coming, and we had talked about doing a get ready with me with the three of us. I don't know if we'll have time to accomplish that, but that sure would be fun. They're both beautiful girls and totally into makeup. So we absolutely share that passion. One thing about this color, it looks way harsh until I get the rest of my makeup on. And I also did some pulling of eyebrows right here in this area, and I'm always very hesitant to pull out any eyebrow hair because I have so little. But it was making it where my eyebrow looked way too thick right here. So once I got those little ones pulled out there and my bottom line started a little bit higher, I feel a lot more happy with the shape of my brows. So one down, one to go. But anyway, so I'm really excited about seeing my family, and I always enjoy all of us being together. And we also have kind of a ward family get together on actual Thanksgiving Day. And that's always great because that's literally the one time a year that we get to see that family, or that part of our family, aside from on Facebook, stuff like that. Our doggies are back at it again. We just had Halloween, obviously. And man, those guys were getting after it when all those kids were walking through our neighborhood. I promise you, nobody's going to walk through our neighborhood without us knowing it with all the neighbor dogs. But now we don't have Marley out there joining in the chorus. She used to be the ringleader. That girl loved to bark, and she would bark even if there was nothing to bark at. She would bark at a bird flying overhead. Like it wasn't okay for a bird to fly over her yard. And she made sure they knew it. But anyway, the kids were so excited and just wild because they were anticipating Halloween. And our school doesn't do parties or costumes for Halloween, which I think is kind of sad, but I understand. We're a school for healthy lifestyles, so giving a ton of candy isn't necessarily what we're trying to teach kids about nutrition and how to eat in a healthy way. So, and I don't think that's necessarily why they do it. I think it was more about actual teaching time and learning time. But we just do Valentine's Day, which is candy enough, and Christmas parties. So I'm glad we at least do Christmas parties. So there's something for this time of year. I keep going back and forth. I'm going to end up making myself a unibrow if I don't stop it. I was born with one of those, and that's the reason why I have no eyebrows now. It's because I was trying to get rid of the unibrow. Now I'm kind of wishing I had some of that back. Just kind of softening those. I don't like the inside of my brows to be real dark or boxy. And I usually take off too much like I just did. I don't know why I ever put this away before I set everything, because I always end up going back in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to use, this is one of my Shop My Stash things that I had in a BoxyCharm. It's called the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. They're just eyebrow powders. I'm going to use the darker shade on the outer third of my brow, and I'm going to use the lighter on the inner 2/3. I do need to do a little bit of brow grooming. My favorite way to shape and plug my brows is to fill them in and then go outside, any of the hairs that are outside of the area I have filled in, I pluck so that it maintains at least the tiny little amount of hair that I have, keeps it where it needs to be part of the shape that I create. And I've started to be okay with not such perfect lines. Like, it's okay if the bottom line isn't like a, perfect line, because obviously natural eyebrows don't grow in a perfectly symmetrical fashion. But it's funny how when you do makeup like this and try different products, it's funny how your brows kind of evolve from one thing to the next, and what you think is beautiful at one time you might think looks crazy another time, especially when you're learning how to do them initially. So I'm just basically setting this. If I don't set with powder, my brows just kind of disappear as the day goes on, melt off or whatever. I'm not nearly as oily as I used to be, but in this area, still doesn't have any staying power if I don't set it. And I'm kind of liking it. I think the colors go well with the Brow Wiz, and I think the lighter and the darker blend into each other pretty well. So after I have the powders on, I go back with a spoolie and just kind of very gingerly, lightly kind of brush them out and put them back into the place I want them before I use the gel to set it again. Or permanently, that's not the right word because it's definitely not permanently, but NYX Tinted Brow Mascara is what I'm using in chocolate. So even with the darker eye pencil, this adds a little bit of the warmth auburn color back into it a little for me. And locks all the little hairs that I actually have back into place, and it kind of bulks them a little bit. Nothing major. It doesn't give me what we used to call Brooke Shields eyebrows. Okay, so it's time to get into the flatter box. And so like I was telling, I didn't even show you this part. It's kind of cute. They do have directions like do this first, do this next. I swatched the eyeshadows because I kind of wanted to see what the finish was, and they're all satin or shimmer. So I think I'm going to pull something else in for my transition color, and then I'll use the two lighter ones, like light going out darker, and then use the other one on the outer corner. It's going to be kind of a cool look. And I'll use the mascara, eyeliner, lip stuff. I am going to go ahead and bronze and blush and all that. I'm going to use this as just a highlighter to begin with and see how it performs in that way. And if it doesn't look stark, if it doesn't look intense enough, like if you can't tell it's a highlighter, I'll just smooth it out and use a different highlighter. But that's what I'm going to go for. Bronze, blush, and highlight. I have been using something that I bought a long time ago that I haven't used in this Narcissist face palette that has Laguna bronzer in it. And that's what I've been using with Morphe Y1 brush. I need to go find my Real Techniques brush, my multitask brush that I always use for bronzer, because I miss it. But it needs to be washed. So I'm just going to bronze up my face a little bit. I usually do all this before eyebrows. I guess I was yapping and got myself out of my normal pattern, but it's not bad to change things up from time to time. Out of the comfort zone. And since I have this open, I'm just going to go into this rosy blush. This stuff is crazy pigmented, so I have to be careful with it. Do that Ronald McDonald thing and not even realize it. I think my simple human mirror really keeps that from happening much, but when I'm filming, I can't have the simple human mirror on, or it completely blanks out my face and causes the exposure on the camera to act crazy. My skin looks kind of dry today. I'm sure all the medicines and things that I've been doing to my body this last couple of weeks probably is having a bit of an effect. Okay, I'm going to go in with the brush that I use for highlight and try that as a highlight and see what it looks like. If it's not intense enough, I think I'll just like go over it with a fluffy brush, like something like this, and just kind of put a glow everywhere and then put a more intense highlighter over it. But we're going to give it a try as a highlighter first and see what happens. It actually says Soap and Glory on it. It's cute. My crazy hair, guys. It's a nice texture, but I don't know. I think it's giving a kind of a natural-ish glow. But it's definitely not really noticeable. And it's pretty light. But as I look over here, I do see a pretty glow. So maybe I don't go intense for a change and just kind of have a natural glow. Just for the sake of actually using the products in this little palette thing. When I look in my lighted mirror, I can see the reflection that I can't necessarily see right in front of me. But I like to put on blush and then highlighter and then go back over with, I can see a bit of a glow. So I think I'm going to roll with it. But I'm going to put a little bit of blush on again just to, or whatever's left on my brush, just to make sure there's not a line there. We're going to roll with it. Roll with it, baby. Okay. Here's Sherri, can't leave well enough alone. But I am going to go back through with my big fluffy powder brush and just kind of smooth everything out. And since I'm looking kind of dry, I think I'll spray some dewy setting spray on my face before I go on to the eyes. And this is NYX Dewy Finish. Maybe knock the powdery look off a little bit. How elegant and sophisticated am I with my fancy fan? But it works perfectly. I don't have to wait a long time for things to dry. Ta-da! All done. Okay, so I'm going to start. I think I'm going to grab my Anastasia Prism palette because there's a pretty mauve color with a kind of a brown undertone, a cooler color. I think I'll use that as my transition, just so I have something there to blend upon, and then I'll go into the eyeshadow shades here. If I'm being honest, not really my cup of tea, the colors that are in here, but I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone. I've been trying to drop things and break them. I've been trying to do some cool looks because I am always drawn to warm looks. That's my favorite, and that's okay. It's always going to be my favorite, but like I said, it's nice to branch out and try something different. Look at me trying to keep track of that little plastic thing with the shade names on it. Really inconsequential for people who don't do beauty videos, but when you do, even though I didn't today, you usually try to give shade names, etc. So I'm going to grab my Prism palette and my BH Cosmetics blender. I'm going to go into the shade Lure right here. And I love this color. It's really beautiful, sheared out as a transition color, and it's also very beautiful concentrated into the crease as a real nice mauve color. I love this palette too. I've only done one look on camera with it, but as I work through my month of stuff that I have in my everyday part of my vanity, this palette is in there. I'm going to try to do at least another look with it. It's got lots of versatility. I just really haven't tested it much yet. You only have so many days and you only have one face. And some people who don't work or don't have a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 kind of thing like I do, or actually 7 to 3 kind of thing like I do, you know, can film things like this without having them completely planned out. Like I always have to work on the weekend. I always think in my mind, oh, I'm going to do a get ready with me or a quick eye look when I'm getting ready in the morning for work. Yeah. Watching a zombie who can't even tell you what her name is at 5:30 in the morning, probably not very entertaining. And maybe if I was feeling better and I happened to wake up early, which with my new eating stuff, I have a lot more energy than I have in the past. I don't require as much sleep. Maybe I'll get into a pattern where I can film in the morning a couple times a week. The lighting might not be wonderful, but it would give me some footage to work with. So that's what I'm going to use for my transition color. I'm going to put that back away. This is all I'm going to do. For some reason that color always wants to grab on the outside of my outer corner right there, and it just kind of looks like there's too much color. So I'm using a brush that doesn't have any product on it just to buff that out a little, even though it's still there. Come on, baby. All right, that's fine. It does have a little brush in here for the eyeshadow, but I don't even think I'm gonna bother with it. Maybe for the lower lash line. It's not, it's pretty soft, but anyway, you guys, some brushes that come with palettes are worth it and some aren't, but maybe I'll use it for my lower lash line. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and use the brushes that I ordinarily use for this kind of thing, which I think I'm going to do my lids first, which I don't ordinarily do that, but since these are all shimmers, and I'm just going to, it's going to end up being kind of a natural look, I think. I'm going to find some couple shader brushes and use those for placing the color. Okay, so on the instructions that actually give shade colors, we have cream soda and copper and chalky. So it says to go over the entire lid with cream soda. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this doesn't seem, I probably need to do this with my finger. I'll go in first with my finger and then use the brush to touch up. This is a really light color. It's a pretty color, but I don't feel like it has a great deal of shimmer or even pigmentation, but with a light color, sometimes it's hard to tell, but it's a pretty color. Has a little bit of shimmer. So I'm going to start with putting it on with my finger, and then I'll just kind of pat over it with this Real Techniques brush. It's really soft. It's not chunky or anything like that. Oops, I forgot to turn my fan off. These lights on my lighted mirror get really warm. And the last thing I want to do is sweat my makeup off whenever I'm trying to film a little chit chat with you guys. So it is the time for the Ulta 20% off. It's time for the VIB Rouge or VIB sale at Sephora. I'm trying to control myself. For the most part I have. There's not very many products at Sephora that I can't live without. I feel like I like Ulta's rewards program better. I would rather have points to spend on something that I want rather than points to spend on little sample sizes of things that I can get in my Sephora Play box, or, you know, I'm just not that impressed with the rewards program. I'm going to go in with my finger and the copper color, and I'm going to go right into the center of my lid. I'm wondering if that's going to show at all over the cream soda, but I'm following their directions. See, I'm a good example for my students. I can follow instructions. It is showing a little bit. I wouldn't say it's copper though. It's more of a kind of a rose gold color to me. And I'll just kind of place this, and then I'll go back with this brush and maybe just pat a little bit more on there and kind of blend them. I don't think there is enough of a difference in color to make a big to-do out of blending it. I think when I do my final blend, it'll take care of all of that. I'm going to find my Morphe brush that has my Morphe, I can't think straight. My actually Coastal Scents BRC NO. It's just one of basic blending fluff brushes that I like to use in my outer corner, and I'm going to go into Chalky, which is more like Slate E to me. Look at me not telling them that their color names are wrong. Anyway, I'm going to go into my outer corner with this and slightly into my crease and see if I can get any depth out of it into the crease. I think this is going to be something that's like kind of no nonsense and pretty nice for every day. If you have a transition color to put under there. And I think if I would have chosen a warmer transition color like Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek or something like around that tone, I think this could take on a whole, like a much less cool look and be, I think these colors would match okay with a warmer transition is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't love the, you know, cooler, I don't even know what word I'm trying to get, color scheme, if you don't like the cooler color scheme. That doesn't even sound right, but whatever. You could probably make these colors work for a warmer look too. But that's given, I mean, for an everyday look, that's given me enough color to deepen out the outer corner or outer V and put a little bit of depth into the crease. So I'm okay with that. I don't think I'm going to use all three of these colors on the lower lash line. I think I'm going to go back into that. I'm going to use this brush that doesn't have any product on it just to smooth that out. But I think I'm going to go back into my Prism palette and grab that Lure color again and just go around the outside to kind of give that mauve color back. And I think that's what I'm going to start off my lower lash line with. And then I'll go in with one or a couple of these colors to do the lower lash line. I don't think I'm going to go for the brush that came with this. I just don't think I'm going to go for it. It just doesn't look like it's going to do what I want. But I'm dipping back into Lure with my BH Cosmetics blender, and I'm just going to go around all of the outer edge with that Lure color just to kind of tie that all back to in together, and I like the way that looks. I'm going to use one of my pointed dome brushes, and I'm going to go into Lure just to put that on my lower lash line and like not even, just kind of throw it on there. Pull it down just a tad where it's kind of smoky-ish and adding some color to this pretty neutral look. I'm not mad at it. I like it. And for every day, it would be very no-nonsense and easy. And for a beginner, it would be perfect. I keep hearing the broadcaster in the other room say, Oklahoma State. Go Cowboys! Yeah. And I think I'll just, maybe I will use this tiny little brush. I think I'll go into the Frosty or whatever cream soda shade and put it on the inner corner, see if I can get a glow going there. And if not, I'll use one of my face highlighters. But I want to give it a try. Right here and into the inner corner. I don't know if that's doing anything for me. I tend to like a really bright inner corner highlight. It's doing something. It's not at all intense, but I ain't mad at it. I think I'm going to stick with that. You know, God forbid I ever do anything just slightly natural looking. But, you know, it's like if I'm going to sit down here and do this, I'm not going to do it halfway. I'm going to do it all the way. Okay. I need a brow bone highlight. I'm going to grab my Modern Renaissance and use Tempera. And I will use this Real Her. I don't even know where I got this brush, but it's a concealer brush. And I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone. So I guess I started talking about the Sephora sale thing because I want to know what you guys got or what you recommend. I think by the time this goes up, it will be my turn. I'm not a VIB Rouge, I'm a VIB. And yeah, I like that. And so I don't get to shop with my 20% off until the 10th of November. So I think by the time this goes up, it'll be around that time. So if you have any recommendations of things that, particularly things that only Sephora offers, because I don't want to buy something I can get at Ulta and get a bunch of points with whenever I can just get it there. But yeah, I'm okay. It's a lot smokier and more colorful than I expected it to be, because the colors just look so muted and blah in the palette. But, you know, this would really be a good gift for a teenager and really be I'm going back into that copper, really be a good gift for a beginner, because it just kind of gives a, a taste of everything, and it also is, they're pretty safe colors. You're not going to come up with something crazy, even if you try, probably. I'm going to use my primer setting brush just to kind of smooth out that edge right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes and prepare for eyeliner. I'm a little bit scared because I don't ordinarily do very well with felt tip, and I haven't even opened this and looked at it, so I don't know what it looks like, and I just tend to have lots of skipping. And you know, I don't have extremely wrinkly eyelids on that area anyway, the eyeliner, but there's enough fine lines there that if the tip of the eyeliner isn't very flexible, it's going to skip. And if I see that it's going to do that and it's going to ruin what I've done, I'll just put it down and get one of my eyeliners that I know is no nonsense and just fill it in and make it look better. I need an eyeliner though, because I think I'm going to try those Allure lashes, those big fluffy, you know, I said I couldn't do a natural look. If I put those giant lashes on, it's not going to look natural, I promise you. But anyways, I'm going to pull that out. It is called, again, oh, that's the mascara. It is called Super Cat Liquid Black Eyeliner Pen. So let me show you the tip of it. It doesn't have like one of those little roller ball things that goes along inside. This looks actually kind of workable. It's similar to a brush tip. We'll see. I'll try to do my wing with it the way I ordinarily would and hope I don't jack everything up. Say a prayer for me. We're going to go for it. It does have a fine tip, so I think I can, yeah, can make my outer wing thing. Oh, seriously? I was trying to sniff it because it smells like oh, this isn't good. Bugger. Da, 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 da. Okay, let me find some powder and try to conceal that a little bit. I think it's still showing, but we'll just pretend it's not there. How about that? Yeah. Ugh, this Peach Perfect powder though smells yummy. Anyway, what I was saying is it smells kind of chemical-y. Like it's distinctly chemical smelling. Don't love that, especially since I'm putting it close to my eye. Okay. It's definitely rigid. The felt tip doesn't have any flexibility. But it's black, really black, and matte, as far as I can see. And right now, I'm just filling in the I'm okay with it, but I feel like if I tried to perfect the upper line, I'm going to jack things up real bad. So I'm just going to lay down the initial wing with this, and then I'm going to get something that I know I can use real easily, and which is I'll use my It Superhero just to go down into my inner corner and to fix that. And I am making this a little thicker on the inner part than I normally do, just because I know I'm going to have those giant lashes. Okay, I'm all right with that. All right, I'm back with the Super Cat. See how I do on my left side, which is I'm not very good at doing my left side. Ugh. I'm nervous. I get the feeling that this might dry out quickly, because as I have it open, I don't feel like it's regenerating into the tip. Okay. Let me go fix it now. I didn't realize, apparently, that our game actually started at 3 and not at 4. I can hear the game going on in the living room, and I just heard that we scored. We intercepted and we scored. So yeehaw, go Cowboys. It is also leaking into my inner corner. So I honestly, that gets on my nerves so bad to have to go in. You know, right now, there is another stinking eyelash in my eye right here. What is up? Am I going eyelash bald? What's up with this? Anyway, I hate having to fix inner corner. In fact, I usually stop shy of my actual inner corner because I am trying to avoid that. So, not extremely impressed with the Super Cat. And I don't even know that, I don't really know if I like the formula. I don't think I like the formula, but I really don't like the felt tip. And I knew that. But you know, you never know. When you close off your options to a certain kind of thing, sometimes you miss out on things that you didn't know that you would like. So I'm all about experimentation. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put on a coat of mascara. And in the meantime, I'm also going to turn the game on behind me until I finish this. Because, you know, I got to see what's going on. But I'll put it on mute. Just take a peek from time to time. And I'm trying to get this stinking eyeliner out of here. They've got it glued in, but really pretty color. I hope I like that. Makes me think of that Prince song that doesn't have a kid-friendly word in it, but that's what this Sexy Mother Pucker makes me think of. Okay, here I go. This is called Thick and Fast High Definition Collagen Coat Mascara. Collagen coat sounds good to me. Oh, this is an interesting wand. It's not, it's brushes, it's bristles, but it's not, I mean, it's not plastic, but it's kind of in a weird spiral. So let's see. That's kind of really fanning my lashes out. I like that. Especially good for false lash prep because, you know, it kind of fans them out and gets them all ready to be blended in. Yes. This is good. It's not giving a ton of length, but it's giving darkness and separation, a little volume. I just kind of like the way it's positioning my lashes, separating them out and really fanning them out, and that's what I look for, at least with the beginning. I'm so extra. I use like 3 mascaras daily usually. This one's trying to clump up a little bit on me. Yeah. I think if you continue to go in, it's going to get worse. So I'm going to stop. But I am going to grab my little eyelash comb and try to at least get this one out. Yeah. I'm going to stop there. I did want to tell you guys that I did also in my Ulta haul, I got a MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. And this is the one that I always see Jaclyn Hill and Ann Nook and a couple different people that I really like using. You guys know I was stuck on Rimmel Accelerated. Seriously, could I forget something that I've used every day for 16 years? Lash Accelerator. Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I've used that forever, but this one I think I like better. It's got an interesting wand. It's really long and skinny, but lots of close together bristles. And it is so good for the lower lash line. Again, what I'm looking for, it really separates out the lashes, darkens them up real good, doesn't clump up. If you do a little wiggle and pull down, it'll really fan them out and give you some good length and darkness. See that? I like it. It's so funny because for years I didn't do a thing to my lower lash line. I didn't put mascara. I didn't put eyeliner or eyeshadow down there. I wanted like that Bridget Bardot, Audrey Hepburn, really thick black eyeliner up top. And I think that eyelash is still in the inside of my eye right here. Or some of that mascara I mean, not mascara, but eyeliner. There's a big black smudge there now. Guys, I hate corrective makeup. It's going to be one of those days. I hate correcting makeup. I hate making mistakes. I hate sticking mascara wands in my eye where I blink and get mascara all underneath my eye. Like, I can get irritated real fast. Especially when I'm in a hurry, but I can get irritated real fast when those things happen. And they're starting to happen now. And I think that's why, I mean, you guys can give me your opinion on it, but I think that's why we tend to gravitate towards, like, go back to the same thing over and over again, because we know how it's going to perform. And we don't have to worry about what, you know, catastrophe is going to happen. At least that's how it is for me with. But the good news about mascara is that ordinarily if you wait a few seconds and let it dry, but I don't think this is mascara. I think that eyeliner was still there in my inner corner. And it smudged down in there. Blah. I don't like that. I'm trying to cover it up here. It's not covering very well, but we're leaving it like that. In one of my boxy charms, I got this Tarte's lip paint, and it's in the shade Daydreamer, I think. I'm really blind. Pillow Talk. Could I have been any further off? And it's very nude, and I don't know how it's going to look, but I thought if I'm in experimentation mode, then let's just experiment. I have a MAC Whirl lip liner that I think would match up well. I thought if I put on a darker lip liner and kind of fill in the edges, that maybe this wouldn't look so stark. So I'm going to try that combination before I even start messing with my eyelashes. I may decide not to mess with my eyelashes. You know, because things aren't cooperating. All right. I totally have foundation. Yuck. All over my lips. All right. This might be too dark. We'll see. Could my lips look any crustier? Seriously. Like, seriously crusty. Pretty sexy with those little bits of foundation. Okay. Since I am feeling dry and crusty, I'm going to put a little bit of lip mask on before this liquid lipstick, because I don't really want to have lips that feel like sandpaper for the rest of the day. Do you see this crust? Guys. All right, Pillow Talk. Let's see what this is going to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, Sherri. Stop worrying about that stuff over there. Let's see what this is going to do. Ha 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 ha. No, not. Giveaway basket. You're getting ready to have a new roommate. I just need to stop. No. No, 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 no. And honestly, I don't even know what kind of pale you would have to be for this to look good on you. Yeah, no. No. Let's see what I can do. I think I'm going to take a Gen Nude. You know what? What am I even doing? I was supposed to use the Sexy Mother Pucker. I don't even think I can get that off, so I'm going to go over it. Let's see if I can do damage control. This is lip gloss. It's not going to cover, so we'll put it on top. I think I'm going to use this Morphe color. It's called Unsettled, which is what I am right now. Yeah, that's going to be better. With the lip liner first. It's going to blend in to the lip liner pretty well. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is going to end well. It's not going to be a disaster. I'm going to let this dry. And set my face. And then I'm going to, I think it would be very unwise for me to try to do false eyelashes right now. I think later on, when I'm off the camera, I'll put those fluffy ones, pretty ones on, and then whenever I do my other videos today, you can see the prettiness of the lashes. I don't think I even want to chance it at this point. So I'm going to set my face, and then I'm going to put the Sexy Mother Pucker over this once it's dried to put a little bit of gloss back in it. And then we're going to call it a day. I'm going to go watch my Cowboys, and then I'll come back and film some other stuff. Yeah. Sexy Mother Pucker. Not yet. I got a Morphe pucker, and I got a MAC pucker, and I got a Tarte Ugly Concealer pucker. Ain't sexy. But this magical lip gloss is going to go and make everything all perfect now, right? It actually is pretty. Hey, it is pretty. I'm trying to go over the liner to do a bit of a blend because I think that's still kind of showing up. I need a lip brush. Okay. All right, guys, I am going to hang it up. Let me just give you a little tiny mini review of how I feel about this little palette thing. I'm not that impressed. And I don't see myself going and grabbing a whole bunch of Soap and Glory products now. Not cosmetics. These worked well enough. I think I came up with a pretty look, but I did have to supplement it with a transition color. This is pretty as an all over glow, but I mean, I wouldn't buy this just for that. I do like the lip gloss. I think on its own, it would be pretty. I mean, it's pretty on top of this, but I think on its own, it would be nice and pretty for a natural look. The mascara was great until I tried to layer it, and it got clumpy real fast. So I don't think I'll return to that. Eyeliner, smudgy, smeary, not waterproof for sure, because it got all into my inner corner. Sorry, Soap and Glory. I love your lotion, your body products, all that jazz, but not impressed with this. So, some teenagers would absolutely love this little giveaway box. Oh, guess what? I think it's a plumping lip gloss because now my lips are burning. Not burning, but tingling intensely. You know, my lips are going to start ballooning and I'm going to look like I got lip injections, right? Anyway, there are varying stages of lip plumping intensity, and sometimes it's very subtle, like buxom. It's more minty, and it doesn't burn or feel uncomfortable, but this is intense. So if you can't take the bee sting, stinging kind of feeling that is getting more and more intense as I talk, see, the one thing that was going to redeem the palette is now setting my lips on fire. So yeah, what's up with this, Soap and Glory? I'm trying to be on your side here, but I was trying to find something good to say, but anyway, you guys, enough of this craziness. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, listening to all my details of all my life. I am always verbose. I always over-explain everything, like I'm over-explaining why I over-explain right now. So, with that being said, I'm going to hang it up for the day. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. It means a lot to me that you come and hang out with me, and support my channel. I appreciate it so much. If you have enjoyed the video, I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys. It's a wrap. Gonna go watch my Cowboys. And what do I think I'm doing? I have a broken shoulder and I'm trying to... It's a wrap. Bye, guys. It was a disaster. A disaster. Yeah, but not really. I mean, I don't look like a complete hot mess. I look like I could go out in public. So, not a complete disaster, but just a little disaster.